Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine Book Club. This is your 3 Days in June by Ann Tyler book review. I'm usually joined by my book club partner, Brianna, but this is a first that I choose a book and she just couldn't get herself to pick it back up time and time again, and she didn't even get halfway through. She just was not interested in the story. She It was, when you just struggle and you can't get into it, and she didn't like the style of writing. So I told her, look, I'll just pick another book. I already finished it, so I'll pick another book and I'll do a quick little recap and we'll move on. So 3 Days in June by Ann Tyler. I looked up the reviews. Sometimes I'll get started on a book and see the vibe, and then that's how I choose most of the books. Sometimes I'll choose fresh without knowing, but sometimes I like to know, like, just to make sure, because there's so many books and a lot of them are flops and it's just like a whole thing, and then at the end of the day you don't like it, but whatever. So this book, I thought it was fine. I put this in the category of literally just fine, not less or minus. It's just like fine. It's not bad writing. It's a fine story. There's nothing too crazy, it's just fine. It's one of those stories, if you're stuck somewhere and you got to read something, it's fine. This is not the kind of book you're like, oh my God, you got to read it, or, so I basically give it, I don't know, 2.9 to 3 stars, only because it's just uneventful. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's like if your friend told you a story and you're like, okay, cool. It's not anything to write home about, but it's fine. So Gail Baines, she is a mom and she works at a school. She has a daughter and an ex-husband. She's socially awkward, and she ends up getting laid off from her job at the same time that her daughter's wedding is unfolding and the planning and the events around that. And apparently, I don't know if it's just in her older age, which it happens to a lot of women, a lot of people in general, they kind of lose their personality and you kind of lose this for life. You lose the empathy and the engagement with people, whatever. So she gets laid off, and when she does, her boss kind of tells her like she's kind of insensitive when something was said and she didn't react a certain way. So she's down about that. She has an ex-husband, so she lives alone. Her daughter is planning a wedding, but doesn't really invite her to all the extra stuff because her mom's personality is not very engaging. And so that's the story. And she has an ex-husband that shows up at her door, and he shows up with a foster cat, which I love that part because I'm obsessed with foster animals and rescues in general. It's a short read too. It's 195 pages. So that tells you how, most books that are juicy are at least almost 350, 400 pages or more. So it's 195 pages. It's a simple read, quick. And so her ex-husband, Max, shows up at her door with a foster cat, and apparently she used to like cats or something. I don't remember what they said, but his goal is to have her keep the cat. Like, he keeps saying that from the beginning. And she's like, no way, absolutely not. The cat's like, I don't know if the cat's old. They're missing a tooth. I don't remember. Like, it's not like a kitten. It's like a cat. It's like an older cat. And he shows up at her door because he decided to foster this cat, and their daughter's fiance is allergic. So he was planning on staying with the daughter, but now he has to stay with the ex-wife because of the cat. So that's basically how the story unfolds. The big storyline was the daughter comes to her parents one day. They're about to get married, and she finds out that her fiance has been engaging with another woman, and she doesn't know to the extent, and there must be an explanation about it. And the mom has this like gut feeling, he definitely did it. He's definitely cheated on you. And so when she confronts the fiance, he gives her some story of, how it was a big nothing burger. Like, I don't know if they talked for some sort of reason and nothing happened, or he got drunk and he stayed somewhere too long, but nothing happened. So basically he's saying like they engaged, like talking, but nothing happened, or maybe they kissed, but nothing else happened. The mom doesn't believe it for a second. The dad is on his, doing the guy thing, not wanting to get involved, telling the daughter to do what's best for her, and that if she trusts him, she should trust him, and if she doesn't, that whatever she decides is fine with him, and he's kind of that neutral thing that guys do. And the mom's just like trying to tell the dad, like, you should talk, this isn't true, whatever. And it's a sticky subject because the mom cheated on the husband before they got divorced. And a long ago, she cheated on him with a coworker. He found out, or she told him, and they kind of, he forgave her, and they kept going. But then she ended up leaving the husband anyways, because I guess it wasn't working. So they got divorced. So it's a sticky subject for them that she cheated on him, and now they're dealing with this tentative cheating situation with the daughter. And yeah, it's just a nothing story. It's fine. I mean, it was good enough that I finished it. I didn't struggle finishing it because it was super short, and it was just fine. She's jobless, divorced, and a little crotchety, and then her daughter's getting married. So it's all those things. And I do think it's interesting how she is socially awkward, but also I think it's interesting how mothers tend to, we have this disposition, sorry, we have a disposition with our children sometimes. I don't do that. I don't think I do that. Maybe I'll do it later on in life, but we kind of put on the part, we act a certain way to our kids, we talk a certain way, and we try to put on this thing. And so, for instance, when the daughter comes and tells her about the fiance, if a girlfriend's telling you, you're like, are you freaking kidding me? What did he do? Let's check it out. Let's go drive by. You do it different. And as a mother, she's more like political. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm sure you're right. You just try to stay neutral. And a lot of parents do that. I think that's so interesting because she's socially awkward and she's a little crotchety, and her real personality is not what she's telling her daughter. And I think that's interesting because that happens in a lot of families. And so she does finally confront the fiance. He tells her the story, and she, at the end of the day, struggles a little bit with it, but moves forward. So they end up going to the wedding. It's fine. She starts to fall in love with the foster cat, which I love. And it's really just, they go on their honeymoon, and she feels like she's losing her daughter as far as the connection because she doesn't call her the night of the honeymoon or the night of the wedding. And then the husband's kind of talking her through it. And she kind of likes the company that the ex-husband is giving her while he's staying there. And they kind of fall in back their routine of their banter and all of that. They're very comfortable around each other, and they're friendly. It took years, apparently, but they got to a place that they were fine being around each other. And he goes to leave, and she was like, no, 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 I don't want the cat. I don't want the cat. I don't want the cat. So when it's time for him to go, she's like, okay, I'll keep the cat, right? She's like, I like the cat. So the cat has a happy ending. And when he leaves, he's telling her, because she lost her job at the school, he's like, maybe you should really start up somewhere around where I live, and I have connections. I can get you a job. And so she's saying her goodbyes, and she goes outside. I think he left and came back or something. And so she grabs him and she kisses him. So it's basically saying that she's going to rekindle her relationship with her ex-husband. So at the end of the day, she cheated on her ex. They got divorced. Her daughter gets married. She's in a weird place in life. She's alone, loses her job. She's a little crotchety. Her ex-husband comes back for the wedding, and it makes her realize that they do well together and she should give it another go. And so she gives him a kiss, and that's it. So that's the story. And it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible read. It was just fine. It's not like, don't put it on the top of your list. If it's around and you read it, you enjoy it. It was pleasant. My daughter didn't like the style of writing. Brianna she didn't like it. So we quit. So I give it a 2.9, and that's 3 Days in June by Ann Tyler. Our next book, January, February book, is going to be Malibu Rising. It's from Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I started it, and I'm really enjoying it already. It's juicy, it's Malibu beaches, it's sibling drama, it's, party of the year. It's good. I could tell we're going to like it, and I know Brianna's going to like it. So Malibu Rising, it came out in 2021, Taylor Jenkins Reid. And yeah, we just flop around. I go to what calls me. So that's our next book, and read along with us, and we'll see you for our next review. Bye.